So, verse 29 beginning, hardly any great souls perceive this soul as marvelous. Scarce another great soul likewise speaks therefore as marvelous, and scarce another worthy one hears of it as marvelous, while there are some who know it and not even on hearing of it. So, hardly any great soul perceives this soul as marvelous. Great souls. Who are great souls? Great souls are sages, saints, spiritual people. Now, if somebody says they are spiritual, like most of the people think they are spiritual, okay? Their belief system says, oh, you are spiritual. Why? You go to temple, you go to church, you do this, you do that, you have read Bhagavad Gita. You have read the Vedas, you have studied in all these scriptures, you attend satsangs. No. Even after doing all these things, even if you think you are some great soul who is spiritual in nature, it is not possible to know this soul. Now, if you see, there are two words used over here. One word is great soul perceives this soul. So there is a great soul which is a sage or a saint or a human being. And that soul, the soul, why is he not differentiating it into that is different than that? Alright? He is not saying that this soul is different than that. The reason is pretty simple. Both are same. There is no difference between the two. So if you, who is called by some name, thinks of yourself by chance as the soul, then you are also that soul. Got the answer? So you are also that soul. It may be a little difficult to understand, so let me give you a little bit of an understanding. Now, whatever examples that I give over here, you have to understand with the examples. That means the examples are given so that you can grasp the true meaning of the words that are written over there. So, use it as an example. So, let us say your body is there. Now, if I have to say this is my finger, this is my finger, this is my finger, and this is my finger. Plus I have toes also. So those are my toes. Who is this my? Am I not saying this is mine? So if your name is Rajesh, so Rajesh's finger, Rajesh's finger, Rajesh's finger, and Rajesh's finger. Everything is Rajesh's finger. Think about it. What is being said over here? There is a qualifying word in the beginning. The name of the person. So, if I just look at it, so all the fingers belong to Rajesh. Right? All the toes belong to Rajesh. So, if I just take it as an example, so all the teeth belong to that person. So, if I pull out one tooth, I will still say this is Rajesh's tooth. Isn't that what I will say? So, even if it is separated out, remove it out and I am holding it in my hand, it will still be called as Rajesh's tooth. Got the answer? So, is Rajesh in that tooth? No. Is he in these teeth? No. Is he in these fingers? No. Then where is he? The whole thing is Rajesh. And even if I separate it out, it is still Rajesh. Got the answer? So, if I have to take the body, The body is the soul. Alright? It is a part of that. So even out here, if I have an object over here which belongs to the body, it is still the same. It is the soul. Now this example, I will convert it into this sentence. What is the sentence over here? The soul and that soul are one and the same. There is no name for the soul. Understand this, there is absolutely no name for this soul. Only differentiation which I did in my last satsang was, I said you are the soul, that is a super soul. But super soul comprises of all these souls put together. Right? Now look at it from that perspective. Everything is one soul only. Did you get the point? Everything, whatever you call it. So whether the particular object is having a name today, the name can be anything. It can be Susan, it can be Maithili, it could be anybody. Doesn't matter. You are a soul and all of you are one soul only. One soul. But we never understand this. So did you understand this? If you have understood it, then the great sages are fools. So the great sages are not fools. They also never understand. That is what Krishna is trying to say. He says even great souls perceive this soul as marvelous. Hardly any. Which means just one or two will understand what I am talking about. And if there are two of them who understood out of the billions, you see, their understanding is not that great, because he says scarce another great soul likewise speaks of that as marvelous. So if there are only two guys who have understood this, only one of them will say it is marvelous. The other fellow will say, I don't care. So this is how it is. So that means one in a gazillion only understands this and calls it marvelous. So, and scarce another worthy one hears of it as marvelous. Only one person may call it marvelous and hardly anybody hears of it. Now I will tell you why hardly anybody hears of it. Now, I am talking about it last 3-4 sessions of mine. I am saying soul, 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 soul. 4 days have gone. And even today, whatever I speak, seriously think about it. It is like drone. I am just droning away. Like that. The sound wave is like this. I can't hear it. It is because it is near impossible for anybody to understand these sentences. So then why are we learning Bhagavad Gita? Well, we are still trying to sift out that one person somewhere. So try to be that one person who understands this little thing. It is not a great science way, okay, marvelous science. No, you have to understand it like this. Okay. While there is some who know it not even on hearing of it. So there are lots of people who won't even know that what I am talking is being said. Because it goes in here and goes out here. So there is a blank screen somewhere, it is blanking out like a noise. Like we have in our recording, noise cancellation. Have you heard of this noise cancellation headphones? So all this talk which is there, the verses over here are like noise cancellation. All that is cancelled out. So now we'll go to the next verse. So we are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 and this is verse 30. Arjuna, this soul dwelling in the bodies of all can never be slain, therefore you should not mourn for anyone. So let us see, even if I cut a person up into two pieces, the soul cannot be destroyed. You can destroy a body, but you cannot destroy the soul. So when somebody says, I killed him, what has he done? He has only destroyed a body, a container. If I have a bottle of water and I destroy the bottle, I take a sword and chop it off, no? What is going to happen to the water? The water will spill away. Huh? Suppose there is a dam. Now there are dams across the world. Now if I breach the dam, if I cut the dam into two and the water starts flowing, what happens? The water just flows away. Isn't it? Only the dam is broken. Likewise, whatever may happen, the soul cannot be destroyed. It is never destructible. It is literally like eternal thing. It is there only. Like this water, even if it is spills, it is still water, isn't it? If the dam water is released, it comes out of the crack in the dam, it is still water. It's not going to get affected any other way. And that is the reason why Shri Krishna is telling him, don't think that you have done something. Because just thinking that I have killed somebody is wrong. So we will move to the next verse. We are doing chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, verse 31. Besides, considering your own duty too, you should not waver. For there is nothing more welcome for a man of the warrior class than a righteous war. Now comes a lengthy explanation. So far it was soul. So now we will understand the word which has been introduced over here. The word is duty. Besides considering your own duty too, you should not waver. When you are in some location, in some place, it becomes your beholden duty. You are in a class as a student. You owe that class a duty of a student. That means you better be a good student. If you are in a particular country, now let us say you are in US or in India or whichever country, you owe it to that place to do your duty. There is a duty of a citizen, isn't it? There is a duty of a person who goes from one country to the other. They have to follow some rules, some laws. Now this duty is not the duty that you are thinking of, which is a material worldly duty. No. This duty is different. This duty is described in two separate words. These two separate words are, one is called dharma and the second one is called swadharma. The word duty over here is described in two different ways. One is dharma and one is swadharma. You know, both these words are so difficult to understand because first and foremost you have to understand what is the dharma. Now, dharma means, here he is telling you, there is nothing more welcome for a man of the warrior class than a righteous war. So two important words, one is duty and one is righteous. The first one, duty, is your swadharma. The righteous war means your dharma. So, as a silly example, I will tell you. Now this is not an example which you can use in spiritual world, but just because we have to understand these terminologies, I am going to give you a clear, I'll try to clear up these two words for you. Suppose there is a person, and this person is a plumber. Okay? His father was also a plumber. His grandfather was also a plumber. So what is the duty of this plumber's son? To be a plumber. This is as per the scriptures. So suppose there is a farmer. Farmer's father was a farmer. Father's grandfather was a farmer. Father's great-grandfather was a farmer. Then farmer's son is also supposed to be a farmer. This is supposed to be the lineage. Alright? As per the scriptures, this is how it has to be. Please accept what is written over here. If I am a person who is designing the whole thing, the lineage tree. Suppose if I am designing a lineage tree. So if I have to introduce a new character in that, which is the son or the grandson, do you think I am so stupid that I will put another person who is not a farmer but who is a army veteran, an army person? Can I do that into this family? So I am not stupid to put another person who is going to join the army, isn't it? So the Divine Lord has defined it in such a way that He knows exactly that this person has to be given birth in this family and he is supposed to become a farmer. Got the answer? The whole lineage system has been designed like this. Human beings only take the religion or whichever community they come from, they do not take any other thing into consideration. Now, in India there are certain families which are into money lending. Those who have read the Bible also know this, that there are certain people who do money lending. In the ancient time during when Shri Krishna was there were people who were money lenders. And before that also they were. During the time of Jesus Christ also there were money lenders. Is it written in the Bible? 100%. Their progeny, their children are also supposed to become money lenders. Otherwise, ask yourself this question. Is God stupid enough to give a child a birth in a family of money lenders? Logic doesn't serve the purpose over there if he is given some other category over there. Logic, use your logic over here. So suppose if there is a breed of tigers and one tiger gives birth to a dog, is it allowed? I don't think so. Suppose there are cats and one cat gives birth to a mouse. Is it possible? No. The cat has been defined for doing certain thing. So the cat's race is going to, have a cat born over there. Likewise, a farmer's son will have a farmer only. So the next generation and the next generation will continue doing those jobs. And that defines the dharma. In this particular lineage itself. So if there are doctors' families, I am sure you have heard so many doctors in one family. So the grandfather was a doctor, the father is a doctor, mother is a doctor, even the daughter is a doctor. Have you heard of this or no? Why is that? That lady who is a doctor, the last one, the daughter, she is doing dharmic duties. That is why in India they say all these Brahmins who are supposed to do the prayers, they come to your house and perform all ritualistic things and rites and ceremonies and all that, their family is supposed to continue doing that same thing. This is as per the scripture. Now, how many people in this world do this? Quite a lot. In the United States also, there are big farmlands. In the farmlands, you will see that there is a farmer who owns 200 acres, 300 acres and all that. He will have a son or a daughter or whoever it is, that person will also become a farmer. Cowboys are there and all that, they will also become that. In South America or in Central America, there is a family of healers. I'm sure you have heard of it. So their children will also become healers. And this is the reason why this particular verse is very, very important. Second thing, you have been given a specific body. Your body structure is made in a certain way. This is defining your swadharma. Swa means mine, my dharma. The reason why I have been given this body, I have to follow that. My forefathers, from my father's side, okay, they were all specialists in a different kind of a spiritual world. Okay? They were mostly all these astrologers and people who did palmistry and all kinds of things. So my forefathers, they were teachers also, who would do this as a regular thing. So this body's father was very much into it. And by the time I was 4 and 5 years old, I would sit in front of him and I would read people's palms. Alright? So many years I did that. So my father will say, hey, come here, tell me what you can see in this fellow's hand. That's an art which was there even during the time of Krishna and before. Yes. Now I am only a teacher. Basically this body will be a teacher. Though I talk on all these subjects, but that is how it is. So following that particular thing is very critical and very important. So I hope you understand what I am talking about. So he says, besides considering your own duty too, you have to consider this is your duty. You should not waver, for there is nothing more welcome for a man in the warrior class than a righteous war. If that object is coming towards you, it is coming for a reason. So let us say you are getting a piece of land. Somebody has bequeathed the land to you. Your own parents have bequeathed the land to you. Your parents and their forefathers were farmers. The land has come to you because you are supposed to do farming over there. Got the answer? So suppose your forefathers were in the army. They were fighting for the nation. Your job is also to join the army and fight for the nation. Now, I am not going to broach the subject where today the people who are farmers have become IT consultants and IT people and this and that. I am not going to go into that subject right now. But that is a question which you all will definitely have, because today's topic, it has opened a Pandora's box for everybody. I am sure about it. Because there are too many questions now coming up. Oh, you mean to say that I am doing something wrong? Of course you are doing something wrong, because the next verse says so. Please understand this. So I will do the next verse also for you to understand what he says. So we are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 32. Arjuna, fortunate are the Kshatriyas who get an unsolicited opportunity for war, which is an open gateway to heaven. Unsolicited. When it comes naturally to you. If you are a soldier, if an opportunity of a war is coming to you, it is an unsolicited opportunity for you. If the land is coming to you and you are supposed to be the farmer's son or the daughter, you better be that farmer's son or daughter. Because it is coming naturally to you, it is the greatest opportunity in the world to become that person. Even though today's all these, great people in this world will say, what is it that you like? You should follow your heart. You should follow your soul. Those are the biggest idiots in the world. Why? This is the verse which will tell you, if you are a Kshatriya, you have to follow the dharma of a Kshatriya. And I will come to all these Kshatriyas and all this later on. But understand this, if you are from a particular community, a religion or whatever, that is something that you need to follow. You need to follow it. Come whatever may. If you are born in a moneylender's family, you have to do money lending. And if you do that, he says very clearly, it is a gateway to heaven. Did you get the point? Krishna is very clear. If you follow this path, it is a gateway to heaven. That means you will be redeemed. You will get the heavens. But if you do not follow it, you can go to hell. That is a simple explanation. The reason why you will have to go to hell is because I made you into something. The funniest example which I can think of is a microwave oven. Okay? In India, most of the people use microwave oven only for heating the food. It's a microwave oven, for God's sake. You have to cook something in it, you have to do something in it, but no. Right? We have to make use of what we have. If a refrigerator is there, you have to use the refrigerator for the purpose of refrigeration. Okay? Not for any other use. Don't use it as a cupboard. Because there are in some of the serials you have seen the person opens the refrigerator, he has kept his clothes over there. No, it has a use. Alright? Now, have you noticed sometimes people use some of the objects for some other purpose? Now, if you have a hard drive, okay, it is lying on your table, it is more like a paperweight than a hard drive. So, it has to be used as a paperweight or hard drive, you tell me. It's a hard drive. Use it for that purpose. So if you are born as a particular thing, you have to use it for that. So I had 2 dogs, These 2 dogs never barked at anybody, never fought for anybody, nothing. They would just sleep in the house. The dog is a guard dog. If somebody comes, they have to bark at him and say, okay, it's like a bell, no? Bow, bow, bow. Somebody has come. Something like that. But no, these dogs would be sleeping inside, fast asleep. They are not serving the purpose. So if you are born as a Kshatriya, you better serve the purpose. So this is what he says. Fortunate are Kshatriyas. So if you are in a particular place, you are fortunate enough to be in that place. So be that person, not somebody else. Right? For many years in my house, there was a sewing machine. Sewing machine? Alright. Now the sewing machine had a foldable top. For 10 years it was used as a table. and not as a sewing machine. Nobody opened it, nobody used it for sewing purpose. So now tell me, what is the point in having a sewing machine and you are using it only as a table? So the serving of that purpose is very important, isn't it? If you serve the purpose. So as a human being, if you are born in a certain family, serve the purpose. If you serve the purpose, you will go to heaven. Otherwise, you know where you are going. Okay? So we will stop over here.